Hello, Mad Science Kids. My name is James Conrad, and I will be showing you quite a few projects today involving mostly baking soda and vinegar. So, our first project we'll be doing today is baking soda ice cubes. So, the ingredients you'll need for this is an ice cube tray, food coloring, which is optional, baking soda, which, if you were to look on a website, sometimes it's called bicarbonate of soda, water, and then vinegar. So in this video, I am putting the baking soda into the ice cube tray we used, and there's really no certain amount of baking soda you need. I just did a good amount. It's just mostly your preference, and in my opinion, the more baking soda, the more the merrier. So after a little bit of putting the baking soda in, I tried flattening it out, which is what I'm doing right now. So on to the next step, which is putting food coloring into the baking soda. Right, like I said earlier, the food coloring is completely optional, so if you don't have any food coloring around or you don't want to use it, you could just skip this step. In this one, I use green and red food coloring. After you put the food coloring or just the baking soda, the next thing to do is to put water in. And when we did this, I did make one mistake. I definitely filled up it way too much with water. So when I was moving to the freezer, water spilled everywhere. So you'll see that later. They're not going to end up perfect. But yeah, just be careful with the water. The next step after you put the water in is you simply put it in the freezer for at least a couple hours. So we're going to now move on to the next project. So for the next project, we are going to simply try to blow up a balloon with just the power of gas. So what you'll need for this project is a small bowl or a jar, which needs to be small enough that you can put a balloon over, lemon juice or vinegar, or you can do both, bicarbonate of soda or baking soda, and balloons. So in the video you're seeing here, I'm just showing off the ingredients, what we used for this first one, which was baking soda, the orange balloon, that jar, and the vinegar. And you're going to see that it is a bit difficult to put the balloon over the jar first. I recommend you blow it up a couple times first, because it'll be easier to stretch out that way. And I saw in the video, but you put the baking soda, it was easier with two people for us. We just put the baking soda into the balloon. So once the balloon's on, you just tilt up the balloon like I somewhat did. We had to bring it over to the sink because it was about to overflow. So, and I will say this, I would recommend you being by a sink because, as you can see by the video, it fills up fast. But it is insanely fun to do. Okay, so for this next video, we went from vinegar to lemon juice, and we were curious to see which one would actually inflate faster. It was definitely lemon juice, and I'm going to explain the science to you while you watch this video. So with vinegar and lemon juice and baking soda, they do something called a chemical reaction, where when they react with each other, they end up making a gas, which is how the balloon managed to inflate by itself, just with you putting the baking soda into the lemon juice or the vinegar. And depending on how old you are, you're probably going to learn way more chemical reactions when you hit 7th grade or so. So for this next one, it's not baking soda and vinegar, but it's air pressure instead. So if you have just a plastic disposable water bottle, you can just twist it round and round like I did in this video. And if you successfully get all of the pressure built up, you can just launch the cup right off the bottle. So I'd like to explain a little bit on the last project we did. So with the water bottle, because you're twisting the water bottle like this, the air has nowhere to go but up. So eventually you won't be able to twist anymore, but as long as you can successfully get the bottle cap off without getting all the pressure out, which that's a big key to this, all these projects is pressure, it will go flying. So I recommend. So this next project was a bit of a spin off the last project, but this time we used a baking soda and vinegar reaction instead for the pressure, instead of just air. So that's just me pouring half the bottle of vinegar in, and then I put a vinegar cap of baking soda in. But it's experimental, so it's not always going to go as planned. So actually, the first time we messed up, which is why Robert, the cameraman, did a thumbs down right there. But this is the second time we tried, and it was quite successful this time. Hey, it's me again in these videos. So the next experiment we're doing is another reaction experiment, but this is a classic when it comes to science experiments. So what this is called is elephant toothpaste, and the materials you need is a clean 16-ounce plastic soda bottle or a water bottle, which 16 ounces is your normal pop bottle that you buy at the gas station for $2. A 20 volume hydrogen peroxide liquid, which is the strongest you can mostly find in public, which you can find it mostly in pharmacies. There's also 3% hydrogen, but the reaction's a bit smaller, and that's what we use with 3%, which you'll see what happens. 1 tablespoon of dry yeast, and then 3 or more tablespoons of warm water, and make sure it's pretty warm. Liquid dish soap, food coloring, which is once again optional. A small cup, just so you can pour things into the water bottle. Sorry about that. A funnel, so you can pour things as well. Safety goggles, because depending on what you use, the reaction can really go. And adult help, which makes sense. So in this video, we're just showing off the ingredients. So we just saw yeast, the measuring cups we use, the bottle, hydrogen peroxide, that good stuff. Dawn dish soap is what we used. And also, of course, the funnel. So the first step for it is to put the half a cup of hydrogen peroxide into the funnel.
We'll just have a look. You can stop it.
And then next we add the food coloring, which I believe is optional. So we did 10 drops of food coloring. So the whole 10 drops are recorded.
I record you mixing this?
Next thing to do is to add 1 tablespoon of the Dawn dish soap or any liquid dish soap. And then swish the bottle around a bit to make it just into one concoction. And then the next step is, which should be soon, is to put the yeast together, which is a tablespoon, and over 3 tablespoons of water into that small cup. Mix it for around 30 seconds, but do not put it into the bottle. Make sure you are in a controlled area, because that's what is going to start the reaction. So we just went outside, and this is what happens once you use the funnel, which we recommend using the funnel to get it in there. And also ours was super slow. Right now we are at 2 times speed. So you may remember earlier that we made baking soda ice cubes, and this is the first time we did it. But so we just put vinegar on a plate and then put the ice cube into it, which all the baking soda settled down at the bottom. So there's not much action, but if you had a bowl or something like that, I'm sure it would fizz more. And also, it did fizz quite a bit, but on camera I don't know how well it showed, especially right now. But we kind of figured that it was still not frozen enough, so we waited about a half hour longer, and then we put more in, plus more vinegar on top of it, which also definitely helps. And the ice cube snapped in half from the vinegar, so. And we had a total of 5 cubes that we started slowly putting in. I believe 3 of them were green and 2 of them were red.
Have you seen that? these are people melting away. That helps so much, beautiful. Oh, yeah, I'll be more reaction, this is lame. I would just stop. Ooh, that gas. Yeah, that was mushy. Wow, so light. I think it'd work easier just as a spray. Yeah, maybe. And maybe actually cover it. Okay. Good experiment. Unless we keep going. Do it? Okay. Well, I just have a baking soda need. No, just do it. Stop wasting it. You can still use it for like other things. Okay, you can stop. Well, where's the closet right here? I use a lot of baking soda. Are you recording? Yeah. Quality content. Yeah. Okay, I think it's getting low. No. 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 Cool.
Now we're at the end of the video. I will like to thank Robert Angelo because he was my cameraman and he helped me quite a bit throughout these experiments. So, and also, this was technically supposed to be the last project, but then I became a mad scientist. So I tried going out with a bane, which simply I just tried putting a lot of baking soda, which I think was about a quarter of the box, into like half the bottle of, like the big bottle of vinegar. I was trying to see if I could make a really huge explosion, but it didn't work, and I'll explain why. Actually, yeah, I'll explain why right now. So, with the water bottle, it was easily controlled because you can easily put the lid back on. And but just so you know, I forgot to say this earlier, but if you successfully put the lid back on while it's still reacting, the plastic's gonna get hard, like so hard that it would be impossible to squeeze into the gas into the bottle. So as soon as you go off that, like just even wiggle that cap, it'll just go right away. But that's what I was trying to do with the bottle, and also I was trying to implode it, which is exploding from the inside. So I was trying to see if I could break the whole entire bottle just by gas expanding the bottle itself, which it didn't work. It's just only because I cannot simply put the lid back on, because you'll see that it was overflowing. So since it's an experiment, it failed, but now we know what we have to change for next time we do it, and hopefully I can get it to work someday. But yeah, I'm actually gonna play you the original audio and stuff like that, so you get to know our reaction. So
Our finale, with a bunch of baking soda in a funnel and almost a whole thing
Okay, that's it.
of vinegar.
We might have to add more. Okay, we need that more. I don't even know if this is gonna work or not, but if it works,
You want the lid to pop?
no, I want the whole bottle to explode.
But that James doesn't know what implode means.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Explode from the inside.
Yeah. That's like to explode in on yourself. Oh my gosh, you are making such a mess.
Is it hard? No, it's not. I give up. This is not gonna work.
And with that, we are done with our grand finale. What do you have to say, James?
Most of the experiments worked.
Aw, yeah.